Okay, so I'm making this quick video because I had a conversation. This was a long time ago, not too, I guess, like months ago, but one of my buddies said something that was just like really profound, and I'm sure he knew it when he said it, but it was like it was a really heavy hitter, and it was one day you won't have the luxury of not knowing, and it kind of hit me. I was like, what the fuck? What does that even mean? You won't have the luxury of not knowing. Um, and I think it speaks to everyone's path, but especially those who are trying to kind of build something entrepreneurial. You're trying to achieve certain success as an athlete, like whatever it is, like kind of striving for more, I guess, in life, which I hope most people are trying to do. Um, and it kind of speaks to this fact that like we wish we knew things. We wish we knew how it was going to work out. Because when you don't know, it's the scariest thing, right? I mean, if I told you right now, go start a business and go 10K in debt for it, you'd say, well, like, fuck off. Like, no, I'm not going to do that. But if I said you'd literally make one of like the biggest companies ever if you spent that 10K and did it and you'd be profitable, you just have to be 10K in debt for like a few months and then you'd literally create like whatever the next big business, you would do it. So when you bring these illusions in your mind, because I do this all the time when I try to think of like about like a business idea, I'm like, well, like shit, like I hate pursuing this because like I don't know if it'll work. And if you knew how everything would work, like what would even happen? Like that actually hurts my brain to like think of like, okay, well, if I knew I would go down this path and this would happen, I wouldn't even make a move because it would either work and I would do it or it wouldn't work and I would avoid it. And then I guess I'd go to the next. And then like it's kind of this weird thing where like I truthfully think if you work towards anything really, you will get it. That might be an interest. I'm sure you could bring up examples where that wouldn't work. If you're trying to start a business, you're trying to sell like newspapers, like I'm sure you're not going to grind your ass into the ground and like, you know what I mean? Like sell a bunch of newspaper, like newspapers are dying industry, but you get my point. Like if you work towards anything, I think you can realistically achieve it. So it does bring up this, like, it just feels like a paradox to me, I guess, of like, if you knew how it would work out always, what would you even do? Like, would you just pick your favorite, right? Like you found out, you look at all the realities and you're like, oh shit, well, like if I did this business, it would work out. If I went to the NBA, that would work out. That wouldn't work out. But like, and on top of this, you'd also be picking good things. Like if you knew it would work out, you wouldn't work whatever job you're working. And now I'm not trying to say that aggressively, but like the truth is like if you're working like a job that you're like kind of okay with and you're like, I don't really want to go out of my comfort zone, like all this, you wouldn't have picked that path. And we're all blinded, we're all fucked up by like the not knowing. Because like if you knew, you would just do it. If you knew you would make it to the NBA, you wouldn't work whatever job you're working now. You'd keep pushing. But that's the problem, is like the reason you don't push is because you don't know what'll work out. But notice the people who it works out for are the people who pushed. And there is no difference between you and them, because the NBA players or the musicians or the artists, they also didn't know it was going to work out for them. Like it's so weird when you look at things in hindsight, because like I was just watching like a doc on Steph Curry. I watched like the first like 10 minutes, 10, 15, like inspired the hell out of me, but I just couldn't watch the whole thing because it's like 2 hours and I just didn't want to do that right now. But it's really weird to look back on people in hindsight, because when you know who they are, like when you know who Steph Curry is, it's like you couldn't see it going any other way. It's just like, it's Steph Curry. He was really good. But like you don't realize like in that process, like anything could have happened. Like he could have fucked his knee up and just been like for like a summer, right? He was like, I don't really want to play basketball. And then like that could have just rolled over into the next month, and he just never could have played basketball. And then he would have like got focused on school or something, and like he never would have been Steph Curry. Or his mindset wasn't right and he didn't care about improving, like whatever it is. So when you look at people in hindsight, it's really weird, because it's like, oh shit, like he's Steph Curry. But it's like he wasn't, I mean, he was always Steph Curry, but you get my point. Like he wasn't who you see him as now. So it's like you see it like, oh, it couldn't have gone any other way, but it definitely could have. So you have to start seeing your life like that. That like the future is yet to be made. Like you could be that. Like whatever your name is, right? You could be that person, but like Steph Curry instead of just like, oh, it's Steph Curry. It's like, dude, like you know who Steph Curry is. The name means something to you. So it's like you could still be that. Like, why are you ruling it out of your realm of possibility? And his story is just inspiring. And there's a million other stories like this that are just like insanely inspiring. But like, he is not tall for the NBA. And he was told he was skinny and he was too short and he was like a late bloomer with puberty, like all this stuff. And look at him now, dude. Like literally one of the best in the NBA. Like, if that doesn't inspire you, I don't know what the fuck does. So, yeah. But what was my sort of main point that I'm like losing here? You won't have the luxury of not knowing. That hit me because once you know, your path is kind of like defined. Like, I don't see that as a horrible thing. I guess most people would argue, even me, I'd be blessed if I felt like secure and like, but like, you don't see not knowing as a luxury. Like you don't like it. Like I go into things and I'm like, fuck, like I don't know the outcome. Like that sucks. But imagine I was like, dude, did you see the movie? This horror movie, and you're like saying no, and I'm just like, where the guy kills this dude at 33 minutes and at the end he does that, and it's like, well, dude, now I'm not gonna go see the movie because everything that was a surprise element you just spoiled. So like I'm sure it's a good movie, but like you just gave away the entire plot. So you don't like knowing the plot. And now when it comes to your life, maybe you'd say it's not the same, but like it kind of is. Like you don't really want to know. And then it does lead you down this whole path of like, if you did know every alternative reality, what would you even do? Like, would you make a move? Would you not pick? Would you pick your favorite? Like, where would we be right now? And what I think it is I think it's like a filtering process. Like the people who get what they want deserve it so fucking much. Because no one had a guarantee. Like you are the same as Steph Curry. He did not have a guarantee. Like you look at him now and you're like, oh, well, like, okay. But like he didn't know that. He did not know he would make it. Or maybe he did. Maybe the whole time he had the mindset of it. But like there's no guarantee there. There's no, like, he didn't see into the future. So I think everyone who made it deserves it. Actually, I scratch that. I know that. Because I think it's just a filtering process of like a lot of people say they want shit. A lot of people say they want shit. And I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do want this and that and this and that. But that isn't how shit works. I see it as like a filtering. It's like, okay, you want this. How bad do you want it? Would you work for it? No? Then you're not going through the filter. You will not go through the filter and get the output that you want when there's zero input. Everybody wants a thing. Go up to anybody and be like, is there something you want that you don't have? $1 million, this. Everybody wants something. Why don't you have? Okay. And it's not even a matter of like, why don't you have it? It's like, are you working for it? Like if I say I want $1 million and you say, do you have it? And I said, no. And you laughed at me. I'd be pretty pissed because I'm like, you didn't ask me if I was working for it. Like I'm going for it. That's a whole other story. But if you want $1 million, like you want that, and you're just going to be like, well, no, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, blah, blah, blah. Like reality is a filtering process. Like everyone has a thought of what they want. It lives up here in the mind, right? And then reality says, okay, you thought about it. You brought it into the realm of possibilities. But now let's see if you can actually do things to make it real. Because anyone can think a thing. I can think right now that I want everything. I want an island. I want a yacht. I want great friends. I want this. I want relationships. I want blah, blah, blah. I can think all that shit. But like, I don't deserve any of it because I just thought about how I wanted it. So why do I deserve that? I didn't do anything. And most people do feel pissed when you get things. Like, you'll see rich people get things and like you're just like, oh, they feel entitled to that, right? Or like, I don't know. I feel like I just see this a lot where like people will flex shit and people will be like, oh, you're not, like, they'll just be resentful towards them. They'll just be like pissed off. And I think that's like a testament to the fact that like you don't like when someone gets something that they don't deserve. So why are you not part of that same equation? So like if I showed you a video and I like, this is just because I watch a lot of people who just do really well, make a lot of money. I'm in the, I like watching self-help, entrepreneur kind of rabbit hole, but either way. And people will shit on those people. They could have documented their entire journey. They could be giving the best advice in the game and somebody will shit on them. But imagine right now, I just told you that like I am the son of a billionaire and I just got 6 cars for my birthday, right? Most people will be pissed off. Most people will be like, dude, you don't deserve that. You didn't do anything, blah, blah, blah. So why is it different for you? Why are you the exception to that rule, right? Like you want something and you just like think you should have it. You're just entitled. You don't get things for just thinking them. And that's the point I want to drive home here is like, I guess there's a lot of points I want to drive home, but like, that's not enough. Like you are being filtered through. Like the people who are there, they deserve to be there. So this is kind of why I hate when some people around me are like telling me about like, they're like grossed out by like people's success or their whatever. I'm like, dude, they kind of earned it if they have it, right? Like you can hate it. I'm sure they could be doing better things with their money maybe, or like whatever the case is. But I'm like, they got that money. They deserve what they got. Whether that's for the better or the worse. That's the dude. I'll hit with this quote right here. Luke Belmar said this quote. I can't remember one of the podcasts. He's probably said it a lot of times, but what was it? I think it's like everyone gets what they deserve, but only the rich will admit it. I'm so close. It's something, but only the rich will admit it. Yeah, it's. I kind of want to pull it up, but I'm probably wrapping this up anyway. But yeah, just basically, it's something along the lines of that. Basically saying, oh, everyone is self-made. Everyone is self-made, but only the rich will admit it, which is a hard truth to digest because you are self-made and I am self-made. And that may piss a lot of people off, and that may make millionaires and people who are super fit be like, hell yes, I am self-made. So like when you say that, when I say I am self-made, how does that make you feel? Does that make you feel pissed? Does that make you feel upset? Are you like, that's messed up? Like, why is that messed up? Because it's true. You are, as far as I know, the commander of the ship. Are there things out of your control? Sure. Are there a lot of things in your control? Absolutely. So that is sort of trying to like summarize all these points. That is a good point. But back to sort of the main idea, and I'll wrap this up because I'm rambling all over the place here. But yeah, you will not have the luxury of not knowing. Very profound thing to think about. As I said, like if everything worked out, what does that even mean? Like you want everything to just work out. But what would that actually mean if everything did work out? And then how it is a luxury that you don't know. Because one day you will know. Like one day you might fall into the path, right? So like say whatever I want to do, whatever business I want to make, it works. Like I don't have the luxury of like the scare, like the fear, the will it work, the excitement. And like right now you don't see it like that because you're looking at it like, you know what I mean? Like you're looking at it scared, but like horrified scared. Like you're not like, oh, it's scary, it's exciting. You're looking at it like, oh shit, like it's really scary. So You don't see it like that right now. But I feel like when I look back on this, I'll be like, that was a really exciting time. Like you look back on this with fondness. Like if you make it, when you make it, right, you're gonna look back and be like, oh, that was a nice time. So start seeing not knowing as a luxury. Because if everyone knew, where would we be in this world? Everyone, I mean, I guess you could argue maybe everybody would be high achievers. Again, this is a real thought experiment here because what would happen if everybody knew? But like, there would be no filtering process. If everyone knew, then like, I hope this makes sense. Like, I gotta stop saying like, but if everybody knew, what would happen? Right? There'd be no filter. Like, wouldn't you be pissed if I told you my billionaire dad just bought me 6 cars? Like, you'd be a little like, you didn't earn that. So you have to earn it yourself. Like, if you walked around just getting things, you didn't earn shit. And people hate when people don't earn shit. That's why people complain when they say, oh, my billionaire dad bought me 6 cars. Like that's why I keep bringing up that example, is because I can already see that the comments on a video where a kid's talking about that, and all the comments are like, fuck this kid. Like, he didn't do anything. Exactly. Like, that's the point, is when people don't do things and then get things, you're pissed because they didn't do anything to earn the thing. So not knowing the path is the filtering process. Like, if it, how do I like, I think I'm articulating this correctly, but yeah, it is a filtering process. Like, you are not entitled to anything. This is the process you have to go through. It is a filter. And then on the other end is success, but you're not entitled to it. Like, if you just went through the filter without doing anything and then dropped out, you'd be as good as the kid who got 6 cars from his dad, right? And you're not entitled to anything. You didn't earn it. Why are you, like, you're the same. You didn't earn anything. You just passed through a filter, or I guess there'd be no filter, and you just got it. You didn't earn that. And like I said, people don't like that. You don't like that for the most part. Like, you wouldn't like if I just got some shit that I never earned. Because people are working for it. You know what I mean? People are putting in fucking work. And that's what makes it, that is what makes it, like, you're happy for someone when they earn some shit, right? Like, it could be like a degree, or they made it on a team, or as big as like the NBA, right? Imagine some dude was just like, they were like, you are in the NBA, and you're just like, holy shit. Like, I didn't even ask to be in the NBA. I was just like trying to grab a Coke or something, like, you know, whatever. Like, you're just at a game and they're like, you're in the NBA now. People would be pissed. People would be like, dude, he didn't do anything, blah, blah, blah. This is why it's okay that Steph made it to the NBA, because Steph has been working, you know, his whole childhood, adult life to like get there. So he deserves it. Like, no one's gonna like complain about that. No one's gonna be like, he doesn't deserve that shit. Like, he only worked from age, 9 to 20. Like, that's not enough. No one's complaining about that. But if I were to just walk up and be like, hey, you're in the NBA, I don't even know if you have skills, you didn't earn shit. So no one wants you there. So this is why, like, when people make it and they earned it, it's not a problem, right? And sometimes for people it is still a problem because it's like an ego thing, right? But like, besides the point, you have to earn things in life. I'm coming across realizations as I speak, but yeah, you have to earn shit in life, and no one likes when you don't earn shit because you didn't earn it. So why do you fucking deserve it? Like, it's that simple. Why do you deserve something that you didn't earn? So I will say again, why are you different? Why are you the person who should be able to think a thing and be like, oh, it's unfair that I don't have it. It's unfair. I will hit you with one last quote. I think that, I don't know if this is from Tom Bilyeu, but I saw it on Tom Bilyeu's community post, on his YouTube, and his community post. And it is, don't be upset with the results you didn't get from the work you didn't do. And I think that is probably, I don't have quotes like hit me often, especially like that's kind of like, to me, like a cheesy platitude. but I hadn't heard it. And I think I do that a lot. Like, I think you build things up in your mind and you're like, I deserve X, I deserve Y, I deserve Z. And it's like, you did nothing. You literally didn't do shit. Like, you're asking for an impossible thing where you get an output with zero input. Like, to just compare this to anything, if I were to like hold the ball in my hands and be like, it should be over there. Like, what? I didn't even throw the ball. Or like, if I'm playing mini golf, I was playing mini golf. I don't know why I'm thinking these stupid examples, but like, I'd just be like, this should be a hole in one. And you didn't hit it. It's like, what the fuck are you talking? Like, you didn't hit the ball. Like, this shouldn't be a hole in one. Why are you upset at results that you didn't get? Obviously, I'm not going to get a hole in one when I don't fucking hit the ball, right? With work you didn't do. You didn't do like $1 million is a perfect example. You want $1 million. Okay, everyone wants $1 million. Did you do anything? Well, no, because what kind of argument? Like, if you got brought in front of a council right now and they were like, why do you deserve $1 million? I guarantee you people be like, well, because like, there's no argument. You have no argument. Even if you could like be like, well, look, like for 5 years, I worked my ass off. Like, even if you had that would be like a little bit like better, I guess. But even then, like, reality works out when it's supposed to, I think. Like, reality reflects. That's like a whole other conversation. But like, I think things happen when they're supposed to happen. I'm like, it's kind of hard to like articulate, but yeah, I don't even want to go down that path, but that could be a video for another time about just like the way I think like reality reflects. And like, yeah, I gotta like do more, I guess have more conversations with myself about that topic because it's kind of hard for me to articulate. But like, if you were brought in front of a council, like at least if you had like 10 years of like grinding, failing, at least you could be like, well, I deserve $1 million because like I've been working so hard for 10 years and I've been trying, like at least that. And again, even then you didn't earn the $1 million, but at least you have like an argument for this hypothetical council that you're in front of. But if you get brought in front of a council right now and like you're just saying over and over again, I wish I had $1 million. Like I should have $1 million. I should have $1 million. And they were like, okay, we are a council. Why do you deserve $1 million? And you're just like, well, because I want to travel and blah, blah, blah. Let me put you in the pile of everybody else. Because so far, we've gone through 100 people and they all say the same thing. It's all because I want to do X, 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 X. Whatever it is. We all want to. We all do. I want to travel. But that's my point. Is like it's a hard pill to swallow. It really is. Because it means you have to work. Like I'm telling you right now, you're not entitled to shit and you got to do something. I haven't even made a ton of money yet. I haven't even got my shit off the ground yet. So it's crazy for me to even be saying this, but like I know it. I know it's a truth. It's literally a truth. So if it like hurts anyone's feelings, it's just ego. That's all it is. It's just like shit. Like you wanted me to tell you that like, you can just be like, I want $1 million, I deserve $1 million, and you get it. It's like, well, there's a bridge, and work is the bridge. Iterating is the bridge. Failing is the bridge. Ideas are the bridge. Like, start, execute, fail, learn, iterate, whatever the fuck. Like, you know the path already. So, this has been longer than I expected. So, I'm going to shut up because this is clearly I can talk for a long time. So, basically, this whole entire video was just to say, even though I riffed on a lot of points, you will not have the luxury of not knowing one day. So start appreciating the fact that you actually don't know what the fuck's going on. Because a lot of the times, especially whatever, like entrepreneurs, whatever path you're going down, you don't know what's going on and you probably hate it. You wish you knew the outcome, but that might not actually be what you want, if that makes sense. And I'm not going to reiterate because this entire video is kind of explaining that exact point. So yeah, I just thought I'd make this real quick and yeah, hope you got some value out of it. Peace.